This episode is brought to you by Only the Real Entertainment and Media Den Productions. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Real Hoops. This is episode 67. Cam, how you living? How you feeling, big dog?
No, living, doing whatever I gotta do to maintain. How about you?
I'm doing all right, bro. I'm doing all right. No complaints at all, man. What's been going on with you in the basketball world? You've been enjoying Braun coming back, I see.
I mean, honestly, I ain't even gonna lie. Like, when it comes down to Braun and injuries and everything like that, I'm more so more interested in just how the team does without him, to be completely honest. Like, that's what intrigues me. I know what Braun can bring to any team, especially a team that he's committed to. So I don't really look at the games for Braun, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people look at games for superstars and stuff. I look at the game for just like really good hoop. So Braun coming back is cool. I just want the team to be back into the rhythm that they were in before the injuries happened. So that's True. Where I'm at with it. And it's that's looking right. Like that's happening. So hey, you know, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, you playing Jimmy Quitler, what is it, tomorrow, right?
Tonight.
Okay. I'm excited for that. I ain't gonna lie. I'm always excited to see Jimmy fail. But you know, that's either him
clearly everybody is excited for it, not obviously not because of Jimmy Butler. Because it's for whatever reason, and I'm sure that it's because of the lore that comes with Steph and Braun.
Yeah, you know but Braun been handing out that belt to Steph for years, bro.
Yeah, that's a fact. But it's just more so of like one of those California classics where you got Steph, you got Braun, obviously you got Dre. You know, he's in that. AD is not there anymore, but with Luka there, I mean, it's double belt. So really, it's just one of those things, to be honest. Like you gotta really I'm trying to say what I really wanted to say without pausing it. But
you're insane, bro. You're insane, bro. You're crazy, bro. You're crazy, bro.
I would just say you really gotta savor these moments. You know what I'm saying? You really gotta savor
no pause. Okay.
Yeah. I think I did well with that one. I ain't gonna lie. I think I did well. You gotta savor those moments, man, because them boys is almost out.
Yeah, definitely.
I give him 3 years.
Steph is on record saying basically he's playing the rest of his contract and he's gone. Braun.
How many years he has left on his contract? Like 2, right?
I want to say 2. Yeah, I want to say 2.
Yeah, I give him 3 years, man. KD, Braun, Steph, I give him 3 years.
Yeah, man. That's literally our era that we grew up watching, bro.
Yes.
You know what somebody did? I don't know if you saw on Twitter. They my homeboy Benji, he sent me the 2010 Western Conference standings where everybody from 1 through 8 have 50 plus wins. Yeah. He's like, what type of conference is this? I said, pal, that's my era. Yes. That's what I grew up. That's the hoops I grew up on. He's like, damn, that's crazy. I said, yeah, bro.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you know what's so interesting about this era? A lot of people complain about it, obviously because of the way how the game is played. But to be honest, this is probably the most star power and potential star power we probably had in a long time, if ever. Just because of the fact that because the game is played universally the same amongst everyone, not everyone has the same game, but just the game is played in a certain way.
Right.
It's easier to weed out who is better than who.
Yes. I would have to agree.
So
I would have to agree.
So you got guys that are notorious for their game as well as I guess in a sense stars in their own way. But because there's other guys that are more productive than them, doing the same exact things. And they just so happen to be on small market teams.
Mm-hmm.
It makes the league very interesting to watch.
I agree.
But unless you're not paying attention to it, unless you don't know what you're looking at, you're just gonna look at it surface level and just be like, But I truly believe that this next era, after Bron, KD, and Steph leaves, primarily, because I have to think about. I mean, who else is in that era that's like a superstar? I think they're probably
those
the last.
Are the big three. Those are
they're the last three superstars. Russ,
Harden,
maybe like Russ, Harden, Kawhi. Yeah, that I can think of superstars. We're gonna get into an era where damn near every team is gonna have a star or a superstar.
I think that's don't crucify me. I think that's the positive to the CBA.
Break that down.
Because you can only pay a main guy, but so you can pay the main guy the super max, but if you do that, you're crippling the rest of your cap space. So the other guy may find himself going into a place where he's the main guy, and now it's spread out throughout the league instead of being 2-3 people on one team.
Yeah. I think that was the whole purpose of it, obviously, especially for small market teams to be able to have some type of
parity.
Yeah, but you know the problem that I have with that though is the CBA doesn't, and anybody can correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I'm concerned, the CBA doesn't affect anything draft wise. So
no.
Teams that are really, and it doesn't affect anything tank wise, but teams that are essentially ass, because there are ass teams, but there are also teams that have like very bad records that are coached well, have talented players on the team, etc. But they will get higher draft picks, and at that point, that was their advantage. That was a small market team's advantage, is to be able to tank without any type of, pressure, get high draft picks, and build. So now you have the CBA where, and we should actually break down the CBA a little bit more in terms of just what it may mean for the next generation. But the CBA definitely puts small market teams in even more of a position to be able to get the highest coveted young players, because they're already going to get high draft picks, and then on top of that, they don't have to worry about any type of salary issues.
Yeah, that's correct. I'm trying to look it up now.
You feel me?
It's on the MBPA website for us all to see. But I think we covered it a little bit on here before. I'm looking at the 2023 one. Let's see how many pages this is. This is 676 pages. So there's the minimum player salary, etc. I definitely want to cover this one of these days. I think we should have like an episode, like a bonus episode for it, for sure. Because this is something I would, relish in reading through. I wonder if this has rules. The rule book is separate. Never mind. Okay. That's something I'm going to have to read up on.
Yeah, for sure. I do want to ask you this, though, because and this is something that I have noticed with the CBA, and I don't know if I should be saving this for that episode or not, but since we're on the subject, I'll just bring it up. There is this weird, I don't know if you've been noticing this, and this is not just in sports, specifically basketball. This is also in other fields like music, and stuff like that, where the powers that may be are starting to find more ways to essentially reset the game board, take power back in their hands, and possibly exploit the new players in said game.
This has been going on for decades, though.
Yeah, facts. And there was a point these last few years where people got hit.
Yeah.
And they started using that to their own advantage.
Correct.
Now we're at a point where we're down to our last few superstars left that got hit. And so now you have teams that are getting built with young guys that barely have vets like that, and the vets that they do get maybe just getting the type of money that maybe they always wanted.
Okay. And hi, OKC.
You know what I mean? And so now with that, you have guys that can advise you, but there's only so much that they can advise you when it comes down to the bread. So now when they slide, and you got these young these young dudes that are barely vets themselves. Now the ownership is starting to put a lot more money back into their own pockets by just trading away these young franchise players. And essentially taking away the amount of money that they could possibly make so that they don't have to come out of pocket with it, while at the same time keeping all the branding to themselves, keeping the knowledge to themselves, keeping everything to themselves, and they don't have to worry about a lot about the knowledge being passed around because those vets that were hip are gone.
You know, this is why I'm happy you're on camera now, because you just cooked. I could take it to music, and I was going to cover it this much because this is an ongoing case. Allegedly, that's what UMG did with Drake. Allegedly. We don't know. They said, we gave you $400 million. We gave you $500 million. Oh, yeah, nah, that's enough. Yeah, you almost touching billionaires. We got to get you gone. Hey, Doc, we know you can get him out of here. Tell him to scram. Rest is history, right? And you're looking at these new guys. I don't know what it is, because maybe you could speak to this and help me out. The younger guys are less privy to reach out to older guys. We're looking at a Kobe Bryant, and there was an interview out where he said that he literally called Dwayne Wade, even though they're peers at that point. He literally called Dwayne Wade to ask him how to split on the pick and roll, something like that. Kobe also called Michael Jordan, something like that. You're looking at Akeem Olajuwon and how he used to help guys in the post. There's nobody working out with these younger guys because they're not asking for help. That's part of, I guess, a con of the age of information, where you have the information at your tips as opposed to going to somebody to speak to them. And it's going to get even worse, Cam, because even in a regular 9-to-5 space where we're dealing with people who are making $50,000 to $100,000, it is workplace taboo for you to ask your coworker how much they're making. So it's the same thing with basketball, but the difference is we're talking about millions on the table. We're talking about the ability to change your family's generations forever. So it might even be looked at as more taboo for them. So it's up to the younger guys to reach out to those three and whoever is a part of that generation who's a superstar, and even those prior to them, right? To reach out to ask for information. Because we were always taught that you got to give the game if it's asked. You know what I'm saying? Even for me, I still feel like I'm young, but even people come up to me for advice, and I'm always willing to give it out. But I'm not going to give unsolicited advice. That's the number one thing I will never do. So yeah, bro, it's affecting all sectors, not just entertainment, not just sports, just everything in general, bro, because we have so much information that is out there. We can look at this up on our phone. We don't need to go to no library or no library card. Everything is on our phones. And we have the information here so that relationship building isn't the same as it once was when we were younger. You know what I'm saying? So I think I do see it. To answer your question, I definitely do see it.
Yeah, it's interesting to see, right? Because, for instance, you look at Luka, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Luka's what, 25, right?
Yeah, he's 25.
Luka was due well over 300 mil from the Mavs.
Facts.
Him getting traded to the Lakers took away well over $100 million from what he could have gotten.
Yeah, facts.
Now, do I believe the Lakers are going to pay him everything that he's owed, the 200 or whatever that he's going to get? Hell yeah.
He's box office. He'll make the money back in jersey sales.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts. But it's just it's the message.
Yeah.
Right? We talked about Ja. Right? Yeah, we talked about Ja like just in private, not on camera, right?
We talked about him on camera too, like 10, 12 episodes ago, something like that, in season 1.
See, now Ja is he's still on his rookie extension, and he's supposed to be a free agent in 2028. But Ja is also eligible for like 2 years, 100 something mil, which, if I'm not mistaken, would take him close to 300 mil. We're talking about a dude, whatever flaws that he has, is essentially Memphis. Yeah. Like he is the Grizzlies.
Yeah, for sure. From a marketing standpoint and sometimes on the court as well.
Right. He's out of there this summer.
Is it the Taylor Jenkins situation?
I think it's more than that.
Expand.
I think I think if anything, it has mostly to do with what we're talking about right now. Money.
Okay.
If ownership can get out of paying him or taking away some type of eligibility for him, if that is possible, I think that they would do it.
They will.
It's not a coincidence to me that owners are starting to sell now. Shoot, the last ownership that just sold was Minnesota. Now, granted, they've been battling over that for a while. But Minnesota just sold. Boston won a championship and sold immediately.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think the Wizards sold at some point. But people are like, Phoenix, I mean, he had to relinquish that. But it's not a coincidence to me that they're selling high that they can now, especially to whether it's people that are in tech, people that are in it's mostly tech, really, now that I'm thinking about it. It's mostly tech billionaires or whatever. But or in foreign money like gold and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not a coincidence to me about that. When you have these dudes, these players, these young players that are starting getting closer and closer to that $500 million mark. You know what I mean? And I remember years ago, right? Shout out my dog Lot. I remember Lot told me this maybe like 5 years ago. Hey, them boys gonna get to that 500 mil. And I say, hey, I don't know.
I think we had that conversation as well.
We probably did. But I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like, it don't. You know what I mean? And who was the first person to get that 300 mil? Was it
I think it was Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown. The minute that Jaylen Brown got it, I hit my dog live. I said, hey, I don't know, you might have a point. But then after that, I started just seeing certain things shift. Started seeing conversations starting to shift. Started to see how like certain players were starting to be
ostracized.
Yes. And I'm like, okay. So when I look at Luka, or in this case, when I look at Ja, especially, I mean, look, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. we just saw Ja with the gun gestures at Buddy Hield, right? And the rest of the Warriors.
Yeah.
Steph shaking his head. Like, this is happening, right? We've had this conversation. We'll get into this a little bit. But as an owner that is thinking about these teams that we've had on this squad, in this franchise, has played well with or without Ja. He's been causing us trouble for a couple years now.
True.
And it don't seem like he's learning his lesson. We've even brought in vets. One of the vets retired. The other one got traded. So now we're back to square one. Do we really want to give up potentially 300 and something million in Memphis, right, for someone who, quite frankly, we can really play well without him? He's not like a necessary franchise player for us. And with all the issues, you know what I mean? Like, this is what I was talking about, bro. Like, I swear, hey,
me and Cam, we have our spats off camera. This is how the conversation goes when he's cooking. When I have nothing to add or say, because you're cooking, I have nothing to add or say.
Bruh.
You got it,
bruh.
I didn't even go that deep.
Bruh, when we was talking about this, yesterday? Mm-hmm. I'm like, dog, like, so, okay, let's let everybody into the conversation. You was pretty much saying they was mutting it.
Yes.
And I
we're
get
overdoing
that.
it, in my opinion.
I get it. But again, bruh.
You're humanizing it and making it in terms of a workplace. Somebody who's... Okay, let's go extreme. Forget it. Somebody who has stolen before, something comes up missing, and I was in the vicinity, they may look my way.
Yeah.
And that was your point. I'm like,
hey.
But yeah, okay, I see.
Hey, copy. No, because let's not even use that, right? Because sometimes you can't help that. You can just be in an area and somebody do that, right?
Right.
But let's say dang, man, because I don't want to be too flagrant. Dog. Oh, I'm trying not to use
Speak
any.
Your
mind. Nah, bro, I can't speak my mind, bro. Because what came to my mind was so flagrant, bro. We would literally have to bleep it out. Like, it's too flagrant. I'll just say this. Let's just say, right? You had some allegations on you. Right? Some sexual allegations on you.
Okay.
Right? You get cleared of that. Or you suffer whatever type of consequences, whatever, but you still got your job, you still able to play basketball, all that.
Yeah.
You go on the court. You play. You hit a big shot. Boom! Right? Bang! You know what I'm saying? You hit the shot. You turn to the baddie courtside. And you just start humping the air, bro. you just start humping the air.
No, you're crazy, bro. Yeah, you're crazy.
How you think anybody gonna react to that, bro? Like,
God, you're crazy, bro.
Like, are we serious?
Hey, bro, point taken, bro. You got it, bro.
Are we serious? Like,
no, you got it, bro.
You can't then after that go on social media and say jaw this, jaw that. You can't do that. Like, what are you talking about, jaw this, jaw that, bro?
Did you see the quote tweet that said just stay with a cat?
Yes.
Hey, John,
you see what I'm saying?
We love you, but that was funny.
Come on, bro. Come on.
That was funny.
And ownership sitting up there like,
Did he really just do that?
Oh, so he doesn't learn his lesson.
Copy.
Come on, bro. Ownership is damn near kind of like the jury in court. Like,
except they're the judge as well when they want to trade your ass away.
You feel me? So it's one of those things where it's just like, dog, like you got players, talented players like that hold franchise potential, or is the franchise, whether it's LaMelo Ball, whether it's Ja Morant, so on and so forth. And those things might pop up. Even down to just like, bruh, one big indicator to me as well is just the shorts that some of these guys was taking. Jalen Green signed for like a $220 million contract, 5 years. I'm like, bruh. Oh, no. It wasn't even $220 million. I think that's what he was eligible for, around there. And he signed like one something. And I'm like, and at that point, I said, bruh, what is going on here? Jalen Brunson took a short.
Jalen Brunson. I thought you said Green.
No, both of them.
Okay.
Both of them signed shorter than what I expected them to sign.
Oh, wow. It's only $106 million.
That's what I'm saying.
Damn.
But if they leave, right, and they just put anybody there, do you think that, like, come on, like, let's be real. Jalen Green is, I don't think that Jalen Green is solidified as Houston's franchise player, but he's the closest. No. He's the closest.
You know how I feel about Baby Yoke. I don't know.
Bruh, out of the whole team, Sengun is not closer than Jalen Green when it comes down to being the franchise player of Houston. Bruh, Houston Rockets fans hate Sengun.
I got a jersey for him.
I feel you.
Just saying.
I feel you.
But
I rock with Sengun.
Talk about likability and marketability.
I'm talking about all that. Like he is like, there's some dudes that are like solidified. No, you're the guy. Luka was the franchise player for the Mavs.
Yeah, you're looking at a Cade even.
Cade isn't the franchise player for the Pistons.
Yeah, he is.
But I don't think, not yet.
No, he is.
Not yet.
This season will do nothing but strengthen this point. We can save it. We can revisit it a month later.
I think that he has that potential for sure, but not yet. Not yet.
Watch this postseason.
Not yet. No, bro, hey, I'm gonna be paying close attention to the Pistons because they fight, but not yet.
If the playoffs was to start today, they'll be playing against your other squad, right? Your third squad. Yeah, them Pacers. Yeah, them Pacers. Yeah, them Pacers.
If the Pacers gonna take, I got the Pacers in that.
I don't know if I have the Pacers in that. I have to look at Cade's, because he's been hurt. If he's not healthy, Pacers got it. But if he is, listen to me and listen to me good. They may get him in 6 or 7. If Cade is healthy. Listen, I like the Pacers. They score 162. They get up and down. Halliburton finally found it. And we discussed Halliburton. I said, bro, it has to be injury. You don't fall off like that after you've been playing at this level. And it looks like he's in better health. Did you see that he just surpassed Chris Paul in most 2010 assist games with no turnovers at 20-something? He's a dog. But there's something to be said about them Pistons, man. And I know we discussed them off camera. They beat you up, for sure, especially Mr. Stewart on the bench. But Cade know how to play ball. Pacing-wise, he scores in the post. He rebounds well. He assists. He does everything well. I'm worried about his supporting cast a little bit after Jalen Duren. If Michael, if Beasley has an off night, it could get a little dicey. That's why I said 6 or 7. They're not about to just walk through the Pacers. No. I just think they have a chance. That's all I'm saying.
I think that they possibly have a chance, but I think I got Indy in that one just off of just experience alone. True. As well as depth. Their depth is better than the Pistons right now. And if you're going, well, I would say that Detroit's front court depth is better than the Pacers right now. But if the Pacers didn't suffer the front court depth that they did in the beginning of the season, Detroit is out of there in 5. But I can see that going 6 or 7. But I got Indian 6 on that one. But we'll talk because the playoffs is right around the corner, so we'll talk about that.
Yeah, for sure.
And we'll definitely talk about the CBA stuff and all that other exploitation. I just wanted to point out how the waves are starting to become riptides at this point. So I just wanted to share that.
To further your point, the Pacers are 3-1 in the season series. I just wanted to look it up.
What against the Pistons?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like the Pistons are gonna do well. Don't get me wrong, but I just think that right now they're not fully equipped just yet for the playoffs. Not saying that they can't make some noise like against the Pistons, but I'm gonna tell you something. What's even crazier about what I just said just now?
What's that?
This is gonna trip you out because I'm saying that the Pistons is gonna take them out. But you know who I think Detroit can beat?
New York.
No. 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 In the playoffs? Nah, hell no. Hell no. And I know the woes that New York been going through and all this other stuff, but nah. Not in the playoffs. But this is what makes it crazier what I'm about to say. Shoot. I think Detroit can take out the Bucks in the playoffs.
No, it's not crazy at all. Put my glasses back on. It's not crazy at all. Come on, dog.
And we're talking about it. That's a team that won a chip. And even though I'm saying that Indy and New York is going to take them out, and they're not going to be either of them, I can absolutely see them taking out the Bucks.
They're going to let Giannis go for 40 and look at the rest of his supporting cast because Damian Lillard is not there. And they have that wonderful head coach that we discussed on here, which I will not name. So
I ain't even gonna lie. It didn't even matter if Dame was there. If Dame was there, they would still take him out in the playoffs.
I don't see that.
Dame will not be able to guard Cade.
No. He could guard the off guard though.
Who? What off guard?
Harris is not like that. Beasley, he could run around and chase Beasley. Schroeder, he might get.
Damian Lillard is not chasing around Beasley.
Okay, so Schroeder, anybody, bro.
Dennis Schroeder, yeah,
bro. You can hide him and make him funnel to Brook and Giannis.
Brook,
be careful. Watch your mouth. Hey, watch your mouth, bro. Hey, watch your mouth, bro. Don't be like that. Don't be like that.
Bro, I like Brook Lopez.
Nah. You about to say something wild, nigga. I know that face and I know that tone. Watch your mouth.
Hey, man. Hey, I'm going to just say this. Giannis, you better be ready to play a lot of them 5 minutes, my boy.
Listen, he just played 2 nights ago. He had 22, 6, and 6. He played against Yoke about a week ago. He had 26, 7, and 3. Then he played against the Suns before that. He had 23 and 10. He played against the Kings. He had 21 and 3. He played against y'all, didn't do well. He played against the Warriors, 16 and 4. The dude could still play. He's not a star. But he's a starter and a quality one.
Listen. I'll rock with Brook Lopez.
What you think, Jalen Duren is about to stop him or something?
Do you think that Brook Lopez is going to stop Jalen Duren?
No, but I don't think Jalen Duren could guard him in the perimeter.
I think that Jalen Duren would be able to do a lot more than Brook at this point. On both sides of the ball.
I don't know, bro. I don't know about that.
Hey, listen, man. Brook is going to have to... unless Brook is going to be trailing the entire game and just hitting threes, my boy.
Which he's capable of doing.
Yeah, facts. But Jalen Duren, if you plan on putting Brook Lopez on the floor and Jalen Duren is on the floor with everybody else, that's 4-on-5, my boy.
All right, so 4 games they played this season. First matchup, he had 19 and 10 and 4. Second matchup, he had 15 and 11 and 3. Third matchup, he had 29 and 8. The last matchup, which was played on December 3rd, he was horrible. He had 5 and 6.
I want to know how many of those minutes was played alongside Giannis and Bobby Portis.
Well, Giannis, we usually have to spell him with Brook, because Brook at this point, Brook is a different guy, right? Me and you grew up watching Brook in New Jersey and in Brooklyn as a post player. He diversified his game. He became a stretch 5 who protects the rim. You gotta have to play him with a playmaker of some sort at all times, because Brook can no longer create his own shots. As he's 37 now, he was always slow. Even when he was 23, he was slow. You gotta have a playmaker on the court. That it doesn't say though. I just want to point that out.
Yeah. So
I'm willing to bet he was always on the court with one of the two. He can't be by himself in the front court without Giannis or Bobby Portis, or that's food.
Yeah,
to your point.
I feel you. And speaking of the playoffs too, right? Boy, Draymond did an interview with Malika Andrews, and
what'd he say?
That boy want to see the Lakers. You
want to see who? You want to see like the 80s Lakers? The Magic Johnson Lakers? Or the Kobe and Shaq Lakers? Which Lakers? Which Lakers?
He don't want to see them Lakers. But listen, Malika asked him, out of the top 3 teams, which teams would he want to see? Well, it was really just a certain few. He did say that, them versus the Lakers is always like, one of them ones. But the way how he said it sounded like he kind of wanted that smoke. And, Draymond is not a smoke ducker.
No. Never have been, never will be.
So, my thing is, how you see that series going?
5. I'm being very nice because I'm assuming that Steph Curry is going to drop 50 one of them games. If not, it'll be swept. I'm being very nice as short as I can because you're a Laker fan. And I be feeling like y'all might think I'm a Laker fan on the low because of how I talk about the Lakers. It's not the case. I have eyes. 4 of them. I got red frames. Draymond guards LeBron. Jimmy guards Luka. Who guards AR? Rui? No? How about them lobs from Jackson Hayes? You think Kevon Looney's covering that? Off the bench, what y'all doing with DFS? Gabe Vincent's has been shooting. But what are we doing? There's multiple people they could throw at Steph. And Jimmy, maybe if Jimmy gets hot, Bron goes over there and hollers at him for the one time. But DFS could guard that. Vando could guard that. So, yeah, I'm going to go back to what I'm going to say. Draymond, I feel Draymond because him and Bron are tight off the court. It got to be that. Yeah. You want to face your homeboys up. Listen, all of that, team up. Nah, I want to beat some of my friends. That's all it could be. Because in basketball sense, it don't make any. Y'all will get fiddled. And y'all might get fiddled tonight. I don't know. Y'all 0-3. Y'all 0-3. Maybe y'all come out. Steph had a crazy game. Maybe he follows suit. I don't see it. But maybe. Other than that, I'm going to say Lakers in 5. I'm sounding like Shannon Sharp right now. Curry chicken, Denzel Curry, Lakers in 5. Sorry.
Hey, man.
I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy with eyes. Hey, man. I'm gonna stand on business on it too if it happens.
Yo. Hey.
Hey, man. Just saying.
Hey. Before we get out of here, right? I just want to know this just for fun.
What's up?
I just want to know this just for fun, man. And this is going to be for real talk. Top 5 NBA menaces. Go.
Menaces.
In current game. Not of all time. Currently.
No order. I'm gonna go.
No order.
Dylan Brooks. That light skinned Canadian with braids. Yeah, he be. You remember how he was looking over at Van Vliet? I'm like, oh no, this dude. A couple screws. You might want to look on the ground. Yeah, he missing a couple of them screws. It might have failed somewhere. Yeah, it might have failed. You gotta go Draymond. Draymond could never be left out the top 5. The resume speaks for himself. Mr. Black Air Force Energy. Mr. Saginaw, Michigan himself. Mr. Stepping on niggas. Literally, Sabonis. You know what I'm saying? Gotta go Draymond. Mr. Get through 50 people to try to reach LeBron James, Isaiah Stewart. Gotta be up there for sure. Mr. You wanna fight? Yeah, he gotta put Isaiah Stewart up there. Yeah, you know how you played organized ball before. You know how the coach give you a little pep talk on the sideline. Hey, so him, I need you to box out. I need you to, you know what JB Bickerstaff does? He's like, hey, I need you to annoy that nigga right over there. He getting too much boards. I got you, coach. Yeah. He get the bowing the nigga. He get the talking crazy. He getting the wanting to fight him. That's what he there for. I understand it now. We're the lethal shooter. So yeah, that's number 3. Number 4, I'm gonna go Amen Thompson. You see this hat I'm wearing. I'm wearing it on purpose. The South remembers. Yeah, like, where the Game of Thrones? The South remembers. Why you did my man Slim Shady like that? Why you did Tyler Hero like that and threw him across? You can't do that. And you're athletic as hell. You a menace. You definitely a menace. And then my number 5, I gotta think this one through. I'm gonna go Vando. Vando be wanting smoke, man. I knew it was real when Vando tried to fade his former teammate Anthony Edwards. I said, oh no, this nigga not right. Yeah, this the nigga they need on the Lakers. Yeah, they needed you back from injury. Is you willing to slap your dude that you was chilling with 2 years ago? That's my 5. Dylan Brooks, Draymond, Isaiah Stewart, Amen Thompson, and my boy Vando.
I feel it. Before we go, I'll give mine. I'm gonna go Amen Thompson for sure. Draymond, Dylan Brooks. This is when it gets tricky.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Chris Paul.
I'm crying because this nigga been a menace for 2 decades, bro. You know how much of a menace you gotta be to make Giannis wanna fight you? Giannis wanted to hug niggas after the game. Giannis wanted to put him through the hoop like he was a basketball. Hey, no, you snap it down. Oh my god. Chris Paul, man.
Oh my
Chris
God,
Paul, bro.
Oh my God,
crying,
bro. Oh my God, bro.
Oh man, do you remember what he did to DeAndre Jordan? No, hey, that's a valid pick, bro. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm gonna go them four, and you know what? I'm gonna save that fifth spot for my man Ja Wick, man. Ja Morant.
Dangerous machine, bro. I just Ja this, Ja that,
Man, we gonna leave it right there, man. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. Like, comment, and subscribe. And follow us on social media at @MediaDent_ and at Young Rilla. Keep it locked, and more importantly, keep it real. We'll be back next time, man. Peace.